Our guest with me today is someone who would like to just be referred to as Mr. Emeka. He's a gentleman. He's not just a gentleman, he's a learned gentleman. And as much, you should know what kind of a gentleman he is. Now, Mr. Emeka is a member of our community. He has gone through this murky waters of divorce, and he's sitting with us today to just give us a narrative of how the whole process went. And as usual, as we bring to you always from the stables of IC Magazine, we bring you these sessions so that we will bring out the narrative from the horse's mouth, how they went through it, how they navigated through it, and how they have bounced back through it. Sit down, relax, don't touch the dial. Once again, it is one-on-one with IC Magazine, and I am your host, Reggie Orafa. Thank you. Thank you for staying with us on this very interesting episode of One-on-One with IC Magazine. And like I said earlier, our guest today is a learned gentleman. His name is Mr. Emeka. He's agreed to come sit with us today and shed some light into his personal life. He's agreed to be vulnerable with us, his audience, and just fill us in a little bit about what he went through when this beautiful union of marriage couldn't hold no more and it went downhill into a divorce. Thank you, Mr. Emeka, for being with us this evening on One-to-One. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you for coming to be with us on this wonderful episode. Quickly, can you just tell us how long you were married and at what point, how long into the marriage did your divorce come in?
I was married for 17 years before. Thank you for having me, by the way.
Wow, 17 years. That is very interesting. Previously, I've heard that there's a saying that once a marriage goes through 10 years, that you've gone past the stage of divorce. However, your story is just letting us know that that is not always the case. If you were married for 17 years and the divorce was still an option that came in, then pretty much that is an interesting angle that we will be coming from. All right, so without wasting much time, 17 years marriage crumbles and ends up in divorce. What were the circumstances that led to the divorce?
It's very difficult to say exactly. If you had asked me this question immediately after my divorce, immediately after my wife filed for divorce,
Okay.
I would have given you a very angry answer.
Okay.
But with time comes perspective. And I would have to say that what led to the divorce had to do with things I did and some things that my wife did.
Okay.
And basically we both share the blame.
Okay. That's very interesting. Between your divorce and now that this interview is taking place, how long has that been?
From the time that the divorce was filed, it's like 2.5 years. From the time that the divorce is over, is like 1 year.
1 year. Okay. So within this period, did you try to resolve? When she filed for the divorce? I don't know. Recently, all our guests have always been the wife filing for divorce, the wife filing for divorce. When she filed for the divorce, did you at any point in time try to resolve it?
Honestly, no. I was too angry.
Okay. Now, so you didn't personally try to resolve it? You didn't have anybody that you decided, hey, let's go to maybe an older couple that we look up to, an elder in church, my parents or your parents, let's seek counseling, let's do anything. You didn't sort out any of such avenues of resolution. Immediately she served you, you were like, all right, let's go. If that's what you want, I'm gonna give it to you.
That's exactly how it was.
Wow, that is interesting. It's obviously from that, I guess these things had built up to a certain point that at the point where she filed for the divorce, you were like, okay, if this is what you want, I'm gonna give it to you.
I didn't want the divorce.
Okay.
It was the last thing that
on your mind.
It wasn't the last thing on my mind. I knew it was a possibility. It was the last thing that I wanted.
That it was the last thought that would come to your mind.
Yes, I would never
have been the one to take the step to file for it.
Never.
Okay. Was there a bit of separation between both of you before the divorce itself came?
No, actually, there was a separation before. Okay. When my ex-wife went to Botswana with my kids and stayed away from me, which was the plan. So she went with the kids and stayed like 2 years.
Away from you?
Yeah, I stayed. I was here in the States for that time period. We were having issues at that time. And then I went to Botswana, and we kind of made up, and we had lots of long talks, and we decided to move forward together. Then we came back
to the United States,
together, and we just resumed our marriage after that brief separation. The separation was not forced. It was planned. We were not together at that time. We were not physically together, but we were together. It wasn't
mentally and emotionally.
Yes, it wasn't a separation of the marriage.
Okay.
It was a physical separation. We agreed
upon it. So it wasn't a separation of animosity. It was something that both of you agreed. The two parties said, okay, let's take this break away from each other just for a short period.
There were other reasons too, financial reasons. Also the fact that we wanted our kids to have a taste of Africa.
Okay. And
there were other reasons that we agreed on it.
Was there any idea? What was the idea behind Botswana? Because I know you're not from Botswana. She's not from Botswana.
Her parents lived
in Botswana. Oh, okay, definitely.
That's where she grew up.
I was wondering because there had to be a reason why Botswana was separate. So because she had a support system over there, you both agreed that okay, let it be Botswana.
Exactly.
And she went there with the kids, spent like 2 years. You joined her later. You guys resolved everything. You came back in peace.
We came back in peace. We came back financially stronger. Our marriage was still quite strong, and we moved forward just like before.
That's interesting. But at the point where you guys came back from Botswana and were living very good, at the point where you realized that, did you ever have an inkling that she was going to take this step towards filing for divorce for you?
Yeah.
You had it?
She warned me several times.
Even after you both had come back with the kids from Botswana and everything was seemingly fine.
Yes.
She still was throwing it there subtly.
We had several
misunderstandings,
discussions and misunderstandings.
Which is very regular.
Yes.
As for couples who are married, it is very regular to have such misunderstandings. But in the midst of this misunderstanding, she kept bringing in the divorce option to you.
We definitely talked about it. Okay. And I do recall that at some point she did tell me that she basically said that I'm mentally forcing her to file for divorce.
That you were mentally forcing her to file for it?
Meanwhile, I didn't see myself as doing that.
Okay.
I didn't actually think that she was going to do it.
You just didn't feel she was serious because...
I didn't think she was going to do it.
Because in your mind, I guess, maybe the things she was complaining about weren't anything serious that you think would lead a woman who's been married for 17 years to go file for divorce with kids, right?
I mean, we had been married for a long time and we had gone through a lot of...
Challenges.
Which
is normal in every marriage.
So I didn't believe that. I believe that we would surmount any other challenge as well.